Yes, so I've enabled recording now. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for attending this live Zoom session with Professor Iyer, an expert on Hasta Mudras and the author of the book on Hasta Mudras as well. Along with him is my father-in-law, my very dear father-in-law, Mr. Lakshminath, and they are in my father-in-law's house and Zoom live on Zoom with us. This is also getting recorded on YouTube. Today's topic is controlling thyroid via Hasta Mudras. Since I have advertised the link on my LinkedIn, on my Facebook and Instagram, which I usually don't do, but today I have done. So people who might have joined here, maybe slightly new to Mudras. So we are doing a session on Hasta Mudras, which is a Vedic science. It is a proven science. It's not something that we have discovered in the last 1 century or something. It has come from thousands of years and it is very effective. And under the guidance of Professor Iyer, our whole family is using mudras. When I say whole family, my 75-year-old mother, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my kids, me, my wife, my extended relatives, we all use it with so much of faith and confidence, and we almost don't go to a doctor, right? And we've been doing a series of short sessions, like about 30 minutes to 45-minute sessions, because nowadays people don't like lengthy sessions of 2 hours. And we are choosing a few topics, like the first session in this series was about diabetes and BP. And then the second one was about how to help alleviating the symptoms of COVID through mudras. The third one was how to control pain or manage pain, different kinds of pains. And it was an eye-opener for me as well to hear so much details about that. And today we are going to talk about how to control thyroid using mudras. Like I told, we will not be going into the basics of mudras. Those of you who want to understand the basics of mudras and understand the science behind the mudras can contact me directly. My number is 9845162637. It is also at the bottom left corner of my screen. You can message me on WhatsApp and I will send you a few recordings. I have very lengthy recordings with Professor Iyer explaining the nuts and bolts of mudra. So please apologize if we do not explain that today. All right. Then the second thing is Professor Iyer is also an author of a very practical and a beautiful book on Hasta Mudras, right? And the only way to buy is through him. It is not available on Amazon. It's not available online anywhere. There is a reason for that. And other time, I will explain to you why it is like that. And we facilitate that. So if anybody want to buy the book of Hasta Mudras, you can again WhatsApp me on my number, which is on the left bottom screen, left bottom portion of the screen. And I will let you know how to go about it. All right. So with these two things, I hand over the platform to Professor Iyer and my father-in-law to talk about thyroids, control of thyroid using mudras. Thank you very much, sir. And over to you. Please go on. And the format that we will follow is for 30 minutes, Professor Iyer will speak. We will not interrupt him. And at the end of 30 minutes, you can raise your hands in Zoom. And then one by one, you can unmute yourself. I will call out your name. You can unmute yourself after he speaks. And then you can ask your questions. All right, we will follow that format. Thank you very much, sir. Please go ahead.
Hello, namaste, everybody. Good morning. Now, today we are going to speak. I am going to speak about something about thyroid glands and its importance and how to balance it when it is out of order. In fact, the immunity system that we have in our body is very closely associated with the thyroid glands. And unless thyroid glands are properly functioning, we are going to get ill sometimes or other, and it influences the health very greatly also, very greatly. So we have to remember something about this immune system as related to thyroid glands, because that is the clue to maintain good health. Now, our immune system is something very, very amazing, because the body produces certain cells which patrol the whole body, every nook and corner of the body, completely, to see that nothing from outside enters, which is not in consonance with the body's functioning. So this patrolling is brought about by certain types of cells which go along with the bloodstream and reach every nook and corner of the body. Now, there are various types of cells also. The moment a particular foreign body is recognized, then a lot of work goes on inside the body. A lot of reaction goes on inside the body. A number of the types of cells that are produced, in fact, for attacking or for, in the first instance, to recognize that it's a foreigner and to isolate it, and then to start the battle to see that it is reduced or get affected by that one. And then after the battle is over, then the debris that is there, to clean it. For all these things, there are different types of cells, the different types of cells. Now, what is called as T cells are produced in the body, and then it goes, as they are produced, it goes to the thyroid glands, and the thyroid glands properly attune it, and then see that it enables the proper functioning for which it is meant for. So T cells are then which goes to the thyroid glands, and there are what are called as B cells. They are also produced in the body, and then they are also made to work properly for the aim for which it is meant for. And there are various other cells also for the attacking and then for protection of the body when anything outside comes up. Now just see, when an intruder comes up, then it's recognized by a particular type of cell, and then it headquarters or something like the headquarters, that is the T cells position. So the T cells carry the, and then of course the brain is informed, and then what action is to be taken is given to these cells. These are hormones which are there, which directly give that produced into the bloodstream without any ducts actually, and then the hypothalamus or the brain controls what is to be done by conjunction with the pituitary and pineal glands, and then the action is to be taken by means of these cells in various types. Now, the moment a foreign body comes up, foreign virus comes up, then these cells, there are recognition cells, patrolling as they patrol over the body, in all its positions. When they recognize a particular foreign body, they immediately can convey the message to the main bodies, that is the T cells. They inform the T cells as to what has happened, and the T cells start multiplying, and then go to the battle site, and then in that battle site, they find out what is the situation, how strong it is, and how weak it is also, and then they intimate that simultaneously the which multiply quite a good deal to enable themselves to attack the foreign bodies. Now they come to the side, attack the foreign bodies, and then reduce them to nothing. And then the debris that is there is done by another set of cells, or debris cells which convey the debris to the kidneys, the spleen, and the alimentary system to see that it is taken out of the body. Now, this is what happens when anything comes in the body, when it happens in the body. Now, these T cells are made to function properly by the thyroid glands. That is the importance of thyroid glands. Now, these T cells are always made to be tipped up in their function capacity, and that is brought about by means of the thyroid gland. So, to that extent, thyroid glands are important because it directly deal with the immunity system to be in proper functioning order. So the immunity system itself is a wonderful, amazing creation of the Creator himself. So because on account of this the immune system itself, through these various types of cells that are there, that we can say that we are in good health. Because they maintain this body. They form the main hospital aspect. They maintain the good health that we enjoy normally in the normal circumstances. And they also, when we are affected also, it is there by means of certain types of cells which cure them also, cure it also. It is to that extent these thyroid glands and the other cells are important. They are important. So when thyroid glands are not functioning, then what is to be done? That is what we are interested. And today we have got certain types, certain mudras, which we can use when they are out of order. So there is a particular balance which can be recognized by the proper functioning of the thyroid glands. So they can be above this balancing state or below this balancing state also. So when they are above, then we can. So depending on the type of illness, we can use the concerned mudras. One of the most common mudras that is used for this particular cure is what is called as the Shankar Mudra. Shankar Mudra, as you know, is done by means of four stages. In 4 stages, it can be done. First is keeping the thumb like this in the palm, the opposite hand palm. And then the 4 fingers of the opposite next palm, next hand is bent like this to cover that thumb. And then the other 4 fingers are brought into the position like this, so that it resembles a conch. That's why it's called as Shankar Mudra. So in the other hand also, if you got to do, just see, you have to keep like this, the thumb into the palm, in the middle of the palm like this, cover the fingers like this, and then the other 4 fingers are brought into covering the other fingers into the top. So this is in the form of a conch, and it's called as Shankar Mudra. Shankar Mudra. This is one very common mudra, which is very useful to see that the thyroid glands are properly functioning. The thyroid glands may show that they are not functioning by means of certain pains in the neck. It may be the throat pain. It may be the particular voice that is not functioning properly. We can't speak properly. We can't eat properly also. So the whole neck area is affected. When the neck area is affected, the first mudra that can be tried is this Shankar Mudra. So the pain in this body, in this portion of the body, that is the Vishuddha Chakra area. This is the Vishuddha Chakra area. And then in that area, when the pain is there or some difficulty is there in its function, like speeches or speech problems or pain problems or breathing problems. When these things are there, then thyroid glands are affected. That we can conclude. So the first mudra that we can use is this Shankar Mudra. Shankar Mudra is a very useful mudra for this one. And in fact, it is very useful for people who are who are singers and then who are classical singers or ordinary singers And then there speak very, very clear. And for that one, this method in this mudra is very helpful. Shankar Mudra is very helpful. So they keep this throat completely clear, breathing clear, no pain. The lungs are clear. So to that extent, this mudra is very helpful. Shankar Mudra. So another mudra that is having this about the same effect is called as Sahaja Shankar Mudra. This Sahaja Shankar Mudra, as you know, done by interlocking the fingers like this, and then keep the thumbs together like this, and then held in front of your stomach, like this. So make the mudra by interlocking, bringing the two thumbs together like this, and then keeping that particular mudra in front of your stomach. So that is called as Sahaja Shankar Mudra. It has all the qualities of the main mudra, main Shankar Mudra, plus it has additional curative properties also, like solution files and something like this, and some other method, some other requirements also. But it is acting in the same way as that of the main mudra, Shankar Mudra. So Sahaja Shankar Mudra, that is another mudra that is very helpful also for curing any problem with the throat problems, that is thyroid problems. When thyroid is out of order, it influences also the bone structure in the body. The bones also become brittle, and that also can be cured by means of this thyroid, this mudra, Shankar Mudra. So thyroid and parathyroid, especially parathyroidism, is concerned about the bones properly, calcium in the bones properly to be had. So when calcium is resulting in either brittleness of the bones or breaking of the bones like this, then in that condition, this mudra is done, it is very helpful. Parathyroid and thyroid. These two are very important to reduce the effects of out of functioning thyroid glands. There is another mudra also that we have already discussed in detail some time before. We will repeat again. That is called as Udana Mudra. Udana Mudra. So Udana Mudra is a very simple mudra. It can be done by holding all the four fingers except the small finger. The other four fingers tips together like this. That is Udana Mudra. Udana Mudra is a wonderful mudra, which is also having the same property as that of the Shankar Mudra. And it keeps this particular portion completely clear of any problem, especially not only in this area, but also upwards also. That is, whenever you have got cold, cough, or in pain in this area, and the thyroid glands being out of functioning in that situation also. If you do this Udana Mudra, then that is also a very good alternative for thyroid glands being out of order. So that is the Udana Mudra. That you can do also simply. And it also clears not only the lungs, breathing problems are solved, and then also the pain that is there in that particular portion is reduced, and that is, it is helping the thyroid glands also, and that is the importance of Udana Mudra. Sometimes when all these things are together with the cough and cold also as a prominent indication, then for that one also you can do another type of mudras. That is another two mudras, for example, for that. That is Linga Mudra and Surabhi and Surya Mudra. Surya Mudra, which is done, as you know, by bringing in the index, the ring finger to the base of the thumb. That is called as Surya Mudra. That reduces the cough that is there normally whenever there is a throat problem. So cough that can be reduced by means of this one also. So the thyroid glands get assistance by means of this particular mudra. It assists the thyroid gland by reducing the cough and colds also. In addition to that, you can do Linga Mudra also. Linga Mudra by interlocking the fingers and then encircling one thumb. One thumb like this. Interlocking and then one thumb is encircled like this. That is Linga Mudra, which is very useful in cough and colds. That is it. So these 4 or 5 mudras are very helpful to control the proper functioning of the thyroid glands, which is extremely important in maintaining the immunity in the body. The immunity is very essential, as you know, for maintaining good health. And good health is always possible by means of proper standard immunity levels. So immunity levels can be brought about properly by means of these various mudras for thyroid glands. Of course, immunity is also done by means of other mudras also by, for example, we have already seen Bhushan Mudra. Bhushan Mudra also brings in immunity, and we can maintain good immunity by that mudra also. So that is what I wanted to share with you today about thyroid glands and then how important it is to maintain the immunity level in the body. And so these are, as a synopsis, I can go through that again. The first one mudra that you have to do is Shankar Mudra. So Shankar Mudra, we already seen earlier also. And Shankar Mudra is very easily done in 3 or 4 stages by bringing in the thumb like this, covering it up, and then covering the other fingers like this. And that is Shankar Mudra. Shankar Mudra is very helpful for this point. And then instead of this particular method, you can use the other method also, Sahaja Shankar Mudra. Sahaja Shankar Mudra. This is also additionally a little easier to do and less painful also probably. And you can do either this or that other one, also Sahaja Shankar Mudra. And then this is the Linga Mudra, and then Surya Mudra. These things are along with Udana Mudra. So these are the mudras which are helpful in seeing that the thyroid glands are properly functioning. And that is very, very essential, because if our immunity is to give good health, it is this particular mudras that can help us. So try to do these mudras whenever you have any thyroid problems, and then see that it is properly executed. I think that's all what I wanted to say today. If I have any problems, kindly let us know.
Thank you very much, sir. Very inspiring. Always I find your speeches very, very inspiring. They are so practical and they are so to the point, and you are so clear in explaining these things. I'm really happy that we have the guidance of a person like you in our life, and now we are able to give that to others also. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Yes, and to the benefit of all the people who are viewing today, I would also like to tell that few months back, I did a therapeutic mudra class along with the help of Professor Iyer, where I was there in Mysore for almost a month. And daily we used to take 2 days classes. And in that we had a student, I won't take the name or the gender of the person, but they were above 50. And Professor Iyer told that you do a thyroid test before starting it. So that person did the thyroid test, and then they started doing the Shankar Mudra. And it was so nice that they were actually constantly giving feedback. One thing that we are seeing is we are actually spreading this word a lot, but we don't get enough feedback because people take advice and they just vanish. Why I'm saying that is we are okay with that because we are not taking any money or expecting any commercial interest by giving this information. But what is happening is our knowledge is not growing. We would like to know if Shankar Mudra did not work, then I would consult Professor Iyer. and give you another suggestion, right? So we like people who give us feedback on what worked and what did not work. It becomes a learning for all of us, and for the next version of the book that Professor Iyer is going to write, it helps to actually add those information also. So I request those of you who are using it, please do not forget to give your feedback. So going back to the story, so they were able to actually do a test, do Shankar Mudra for 1 month, and then they did another test after 1 month, thyroid test, and the levels had actually becoming close to normal. I won't take the numbers. I have the lab results with me in my WhatsApp. Those of you who want to, I can also share so that you know for yourself, because many people think that doing simple things like this don't give results. Okay, so I would like to give you confidence that a person has really benefited, and we are benefiting a lot through many other mudras, like Professor Iyer told, for Udana Mudra, okay, and Surya Mudra. Yesterday night, I have just recovered from COVID a week ago, and then I was having dry cough. All I had to do Surya Mudra, just keep it in both my hands and sleep 10 minutes. It is gone. The cough is just gone. I don't know where it disappeared. You need to have belief on that. You should not question the system. And the last thing that I would like to tell you is, see, many people after hearing this, you will go to Google, you will go to YouTube and try to figure out. I'm not stopping you from that. But since you have access to a person like Professor Iyer, please do not confuse yourself by going to Google, because there is so many conflicting information. And many times I have seen people are telling the names of the mudras are also wrong, right? So if you want information, you always have access to me. Please feel free to contact me, and then I will give the required help by contacting him. We don't share his number directly because he cannot handle so much of traffic calls and WhatsApp and all that. So my father-in-law and I together, we do that work. Okay. And with his help, we will consult, and then there is a template in which you can send your problem, not only a thyroid problem. If you have any other problem also, you can, once you contact me on WhatsApp, I'll send you the template. You send the template, your issues in that template. I send it to Professor Iyer, and whatever he says relief, I send it back to you. Okay, we will do like that. And those of you who are more interested, especially those of you who are asking for your senior citizens at home, elders, what happens is, for them, they need to be taken care in a certain way. So now I have decided, whoever asks for senior citizens, we will just not message. I or my father-in-law or Professor Iyer, depending on the seriousness of the situation, we need to see the senior citizen on a WhatsApp video call. We will show exactly how to do the mudra, and they will do along with us, right? We are ready to give this much support without expecting any money from you. All right, this is totally coming out of pure dedication, and we want to use the knowledge of Professor Iyer to, as much as possible, and spread this word, but to meaningful people. We don't want to waste time on people who will take our advice, not do it, and start bad mouthing about it. That's perfectly not okay with us. Okay. So to be clear about all these things, this is why we are introducing so many new ways of actually doing it. So please take advantage of this in whichever way you want. Now, about thyroid, if you want to ask any questions, or even in general, you can raise your hand in Zoom, and I will start calling your name one by one. You can unmute yourself and start asking the question.
Just a minute. Before we start questions and answers, I want to share an incident which happened last week.
Yes, sir.
Last week, one practitioner of mudras, who has been practicing the mudras for several months, with my book actually, then he was suffering from diabetes and then various other ailments in the body. And he started with the diabetes and got relief, control over that one. He belongs to a family of one person, one son only, and all the parents depend upon his earnings. And then he was wondering what would happen if he is not there to the parents. So he was very much worried, and he referred to my book, and then started doing this against diabetes, and then also some problems in the body itself. No, the results gave him so much, and he was so elated that he phoned me several times of the good effects that he is feeling. Now, last week, he asked me to send a photograph of me, just one or two snaps. I told him, why do you want this unnecessarily? You are seeing me anyway doing this mudras and all. No, sir, I want a photograph of yourself. Anyway, then I sent him the photograph. Do you know what he has done? He has made the photograph into a frame itself. He made a frame out of it in the photograph. And then phoned to me saying, sir, I have seen God person, but I am seeing you as his representative. So what I want to do is, the moment I get up from the body, from the sleep, I want to see your face and then start my work, earn my livings. So that is why I photograph. So I kept the framed photograph in my bedroom and then keep it in my side. So that is an incident. Why I repeat it, I'm telling you, is not see that I have done something godly or something, but the assiduous practice, the sincere practice that he did, has resulted in the excellent results given by Mudras. That is why I wanted to give this example. So the Mudras have given him so much confidence, and then also completely cured many of his diseases, that he felt very grateful to the Mudras, through me, of course. So that is why Mudras, when done very sincerely, they are going to have a very definite effect on our body, because it is not a new thing that is there. We have forgotten the old time-tested curative method, and to bring it back is our actual duty to do that one as citizens of this country, because it is that which was giving good health for the whole society before. Such methods like Mudras, Reiki, pranic healing, acupressure, these are all our own systems. So out of these, I selected Mudras because they are the simplest, painless, and then easy to be done by a child or an old man. Without it, we need not understand the theory behind it. But if you know what is to be done, that's all what is required. So please remember that this is very essential to persevere and then to pursue that one constantly, and then see, and then the results will come automatically sooner or later. It is a slow thing, that is definitely there, but it is a definite thing. Unlike pills, which only suppress the feeling, but the root it does not eradicate. So anyway, the modern medicine has done wonders in other fields, but for ordinary things, please practice these things. That is my plea. Right? And if that is done, that's all what is required. You are saving so much money, so much time, so much difficulty, so much tension, anger, all these things you are going to save. Please remember this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for those words and the way you are making a difference to this world. We are very proud that, you are still in a mood to help others. In spite of the age at which you are able to talk so freely, and you have this enthusiasm to help others like us. Very thankful to you. So the first question, it has come in my chat by Deepika. So the question is, how many minutes per mudra per day should these 5 mudras be done? That's her question.
The 5 mudras, that is daily mudras. Daily mudras, 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes each.
No, I don't think so. She's asking about those daily mudras, sir. You showed 5 mudras today totally. She's asking, do you have to do all the 5 mudras?
Yeah. So in the initial, if the seriousness of the problem is not much, if it is the initial stages, then about 10 minutes would be all right. 10 minutes is more than ample. You can do it, one can do it for 10 minutes a day, morning and evening. Twice a day, that's quite sufficient. And each of these things can be done for 10 minutes. And then For example, Linga Mudra or Surya Mudra, you can do it for 5 minutes, at least for 5 minutes. That will take care of the time factor.
Deepika, does it answer your question?
Please remember, all these mudras are to be done in the end by ending with Prana Mudra. Prana Mudra is very essential because that stabilizes what you have done already and sees that the prana is flowing in the nadis properly. For stabilizing, for ensuring that, you have to do Prana Mudra at the end, at least for 5 minutes.
All right, sir. Then another question on the chat by Ravikiran MA. He's my classmate from engineering college. I know him from 25 years. Thanks, Ravi. So his question is it beneficial or detrimental if a person with no thyroid problem does these mudras?
Please do not try these curative mudras unnecessarily. You are going to interfere with the proper functioning of the body and doing unnecessary mudras. Why are you testing this one? You are not required to do those mudras. When you are not required to do those mudras, curative mudras especially, please do not do them. Because you're not only wasting your time, but also there is no, you're only confirming what you are already good in your health. So that is not necessary. Of course, no harm will be done. No harm will be done, but it is not necessary. Don't try this unnecessarily and test the functioning of the body's parts.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, my question is, at this point of time, do you also want to tell about the 5 mudras, maintenance mudras, that we can do even when we don't have a problem? Does it make sense to tell now?
Yeah, that is very essential because our health is not in our control in certain matters. Especially for environmental degradation, we have no control. So that may cause some difficulties. And then diet problems. So wrong diet or untimely diet or any problem about the diet, especially time factor, and then the type of food. That is one of the most important requirements to maintain our health. Whatever curative methods you resort to, whether allopathic or mudras or whatever it is, if you have no control over diet, be sure that nothing will cure. That is very important. You have to have a control over your diet and also, as far as possible, your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is also very important because there is a particular rhythm that is taking place in the body. The body functions in a particular rhythm, and that rhythm must be maintained as far as possible. Getting up in a particular time, working in a particular time, going to sleep in a particular time. These are all body's functions which are properly to be maintained at a particular rate, rhythm. There is a rhythm there. So at that, if you maintain that rhythm, then normally no problem will arise. So lifestyle changes, diet changes, environmental degradation, all these have got a certain effect on the body and illness likely. For that purpose, those 5 mudras are to be done. Okay. That is why it is important. Whether you are healthy or not, these 5 mudras are very essential because they prevent at least some of the effects of the environment and your lifestyle. Okay. That is it.
Can I read the next question, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a question. Is this mudra for hypothyroidism also?
No, there is no separate thing. The thyroid from this, whether it is hyper or hypo, for both we use the Shankar Mudra or Udana Mudra.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Then the next question is, can I discontinue Thyronorm? I think Thyronorm is the medicine. If I start these mudras?
No. You should continue taking the medical advice also, but do this mudra only the period of curative period required is lessened. And then occasionally you should get tested for whether the number of pills that you are taking is to be changed or not. So you should consult one should consult the doctor at periodic times when once you are using mudras. No stoppage of the regular medical advice. Please remember that one. It is not a mudras are not a replacement of the medical advice that you are already on. So it is only the period of recuperation will reduce very effectively. And then you have to either reduce the pills or stop this whole thing together. That is it. So don't go take the risk of suddenly stopping and doing only mudras. If it is in the initial stages of any illness, do mudras first as a preventive and as a first aid, and then see whether it is reducing, whether your ailment is reducing or not, curing or not. If it is not in a curative state, then go to medicines, ask medicine, medical advice. That is what is to be done.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So the person who asked that, is it clear to you now whether about how to go about medication? Okay, we'll move to next questions. There are two more questions which are not really related to the thyroid issues. So I will last have asked earlier than others. Now I'll move to the next one specific to thyroid. He said, hold on one second. Let me just. Yeah. So, sir, you had told about Prana Mudra to be done after the Shankar Mudra. So, Prasanna is asking, sir, can you please show us how to practice Prana Mudra?
You have got these 5 fingers, and then last 2 fingers, that is a small finger and the ring finger, are brought to the tip or the thumb. That is Prana Mudra. Again, the small finger and the ring finger, both of them, the tips of them are brought to the tip of the thumb. The other 2 fingers, the middle and the index finger, are kept straight as far as possible. In the beginning, you don't get this straight because that will give you pain. So it may be a little bent like this, does not matter. But it should not be in contact with the other fingers which are in functioning. So that is Prana Mudra. That is Prana Mudra.
Thank you, sir. Then the next question is there a specific time to practice these mudras?
This I think I have dealt with in detail a number of times. The best time that any of these things, yoga or mudras or any of these natural curative methods to be done, is in the early morning. Because there are other things that are taking place in the body. Especially the hormones are secreting in the early morning, what is called as the Brahmi Muhurta, between 4:30 and 6. So in that period, the secretions in the body, various hormones that are there in the body, are secreting, that the body is brought to the working condition during the daytime. The daytime is specially meant for working through the body. The body wants to work through the, not rest. So the working period is during the daytime, and then for that to prepare the body, all these hormones are secreting their secretions. So in the early morning, when they are secreting and giving the good effect for the body, if we do mudras also, it is a double effect. We are adding to the strength of the body by doing these mudras and then seeing that their effect is also effect. So it is always better to do mudras in early morning. But the science of mudras does not require this specific this thing requirement. This requirement is not there in the science. Any time of the day in the 24 hours will be sufficient, will be enough. Because what it aims and requires and wants you to do is the bringing in physically of the fingers into a particular position. That's all what it aims at. You bring the fingers into a particular position, interlocking or doing like this or bending or whatever is required to be done by the mudra. You do it and forget about it. Does not matter. Because the work is done internally automatically, not by your interference. You are not going to interfere in anything. So it is done automatically, and hence, when once you bring the fingers into particular position, nothing else is required. And this can be done in any position that you are in, sitting, standing, walking, lying down, or any such thing like that. So that is the science behind it. But for your thinking and advantage, you select a particular time. That's all. Better do it in the early morning or late in the evening, after sunset, by about sunset. That is the proper time. Yes.
Thank you. One last question is pending, and that question is, do you have any mudras for sleep apnea?
What exactly is being
That is asked by Deepika. Deepika, do you want to unmute your mic and exactly ask what is, tell Professor Iyer what is sleep?
Sure, Gangu. Sleep apnea is nothing but, the heart skips a beat when you're asleep. Okay, and it gets dangerous if the person is obese. And I think there's something to do with obstruction in the breath.
if breathing is not systematically done in a particular way, then Akasha Mudra you can try. To change, to see that the heart beat is in a rhythmic manner. It should be in a rhythmic manner whenever you are breathing. So if there is a skip or something like this in the breathing position, then you can do Akasha Mudra, a very effective mudra, irregular heartbeat.
Okay. Sir, is it also helpful? This is also due to a lot of snoring. It is I could say, a side effect of sleep apnea. The snoring, the heavy snoring is also side effect of sleep apnea. So if you can control snoring, maybe sleep apnea also could be controlled. So does this mudra help that too?
That is Jnana Mudra is the best to control that, snoring also.
Oh, okay. So these two mudra together should help then.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we are done with all the questions. So if there are no questions, it's time to say goodbye. And as usual, I will stay here for another 5 minutes. Those of you who want to ask me a question that we operate in terms of health, mudras, yoga, can ask me. So I thank Professor Iyer from the bottom of my heart once again. There are so many people getting benefited because of you, and it's very inspiring to hear you talk about these things with so much of conviction, because you have used it in your own life and now you are making it available to all of us. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, welcome. I'm happy to share my experiences with you people. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Gangu,
Yes.
this Wednesday,
Ha.
26th, our busy is and August anyway.
Ha, sorry, no problem. Then we will do it next Saturday. Bye-bye. Bye, all of you. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good morning, Ganga.
Gangu, one question to you.
Harvey. I can hear you.
Hello.
Ravi, I can hear you.
ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ಯಾ ಈಗ?
ನಾನು ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಐ ಥಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಕೇಳಿದೆ.
No, I'll be starting to Sikkim on 28th Jan.
Okay, cool. There is a chance that I land up there directly with you.
All
Just
right, man.
heads up.
When you land in the airport, give me a call.
Done.
Chalo.
Take care. Okay, bye.
Thanks a lot, man. Bye. I
Good
heard
morning,
another
Angad.
voice. Somebody wanted to talk.
Yeah. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Tejas.
Gangadhar, this 5 maintenance mudras, can you just name it so I can make a note of it?
Yes. So the first one is Gnana Mudra.
Yeah. Okay.
Second one is Prithvi Mudra.
Okay.
Okay. Third one is Apana Mudra.
Okay.
Then Vayu Mudra.
Okay.
Last one is Prana Mudra.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Gangadhar.
All right, Tejas. Bye. All right, I'm going to